Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not, it is the part one
Of the reunion,
of
baby.
the three-part
Three-part. Oh, I love the three parts.
reunion.
The best ones are the three parts.
Yeah, because there's so much they can't get rid of it. Have we ever had a 4-part?
No.
I thought Salt Lake last year might have been 4 parts.
Maybe Southern Charm this year will be a 4-part. JT can do his own, the fourth one.
By himself. So I love how Andy started it. What is your intention today, Tamara? And she went on and on and on. And I thought, I wrote down.
No. He went on and on and on about it. I thought that what she said was good. I actually liked her intention. I want to get through some stuff with Shannon, but we're probably not going to be close and we're not going to be friends. I think that they're doing okay. I actually am okay right now with Shannon and Tamara for the first reunion part.
Yeah, I don't believe that was Tamara's intention. I believe Tamara's intention was to keep her orange, to not come off like a raging witch.
Well, she has a new face, so she has a new personality, so it's okay.
Yeah, but I think has a chance to see how she acted on the show for the season. She's gotten feedback that she's a Tamrat and a lunatic.
She got a new face. She's just starting anew.
Yeah, but everything she's doing now,
her face looks good.
Her face looks good. It looks good. Everything she's doing right now is what do you call it? Control. It just
she's micromanaging everything.
And she's trying to control all this because it's all coming at her, and she's definitely has like a crisis management.
She's micromanaging everything. She's controlling the narrative.
That's it. She's trying to get in front of the narrative. And have some remorse about it.
She's doing okay. She's doing okay.
How she saw how she acted.
She's doing okay.
Yes. But one thing I noticed is that when they show the housewives from a certain side, Emily's foot's tapping half the time. And this is a woman thing that women pick up. She's tapping her foot with her heel. And then when Tamara or Heather is talking, the other's feet are tapping. So when Tamara's doing her thing, you got Dubrow's tapping.
Okay.
And then when Dubrow's doing her BS, you see Tamara is. And it almost reminded me of how they definitely had to coordinate this attack, of how they were both going to approach this reunion. And if it's not going well, the other one's getting a little bit.
Oh, yeah, they're totally in cahoots. And I will say
watch their feet. Watch their feet.
I will say this. Heather's goal is like mine on Christmas this year. I'll be good with some people. I want to be friends with most people.
Yeah. She doesn't want to be friends with Katie. But I'm not sure if I really want to be friends with Katie either. I like Katie, but I don't know if I want to be a friend.
And Jen Pedranti, girl, you're so dumb. I'm sorry. You're just dumb. You can tell you're really sweet. You're nice, but you're dumb. Like, Emily's absolutely right. Ryan clearly, I don't think Ryan ratted on his friend. I think Ryan's friend is okay with Ryan. I've said this already on this podcast. I think Ryan was just cooperated with the government. I think his friend cooperated with the government. And I think the government's big fish is the interpreter who stole the money. And as much as they're this is not like they caught them with 100 businessmen doing $1 million or 500,000 each. They had one person that did 50 million from stole from someone, right? And so it's so it's different. Like, that's who the feds are going after. And I think if everyone cooperates along the way, they will get leniency. Ryan just got nothing.
Well, it's sort of like Ryan and Matt. That's his name, right? The friend Matt are like the bait on the hook.
Yeah.
That's all they are. They're
and as long as they go with it and they just do what they're supposed to do,
hopefully
Matt was supposed to do 20 years or something, 15 to 20 years. He's going to do 3. Ryan was probably going to do 3 to 5. He's doing 0. And then the interpreter is going to be doing the time, unless Shohei, sorry, I don't want to get called out by one of our listeners. Shohei comes after him, or doesn't come after him, gives him, you know what I mean? Has some empathy, but I don't think he will. I just don't think he will.
You know what I'm going to say,
I don't know him personally.
The whole entire Ryan, Matt, Otane, is that his name? Otane, whatever it is.
Good pronunciation.
The whole, it confuses me.
Yeah, it is confusing.
I know what happened. This one put money here, and
but then Jen's like, "Oh, if you know Matt, that's what he says. He makes jokes." It's like, wait, so he makes a joke?
No, you don't make that kind of
joke.
Right? You don't make that kind of joke. Now, what they did, it was Emily that talked about how you go to the casino, you buy the chips, Then
was
you cash
interesting.
in the chips, yeah, and then you've like laundered the money. Now, I've said this to Andrew because we've been known to frequent
We like a casino.
casinos.
We're going in after
If you
this.
go on a Saturday night or
There's a lot of drug
Friday
dealers
night,
there. They wash their money.
there's a lot of money laundering going on. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I
So
didn't
if you're
call
ever at the
them.
casino and you see someone that maybe just sits down, puts in a couple $100, 300, 400, plays a couple spins, and then cashes out with say like 380 on a $400 they've put in, that's what we're talking about. They then go to
Right.
the voucher machine, they get the money from the casino to pay them back cash, and then the money they collected for the drugs is now casino money, and they take home casino money.
And Andrew and I have actually seen people who are mules
Yeah.
for the money
People come up to them
laundering.
and give them money.
No, there are people who go to the casino. We're giving all the casino things that go to the casino with other people's money
Yeah.
for no other reason but to wash it through. So a lot of times the person washing the money isn't there, which would be like Ryan,
Yep.
because he's just the mule. And that's really what we should call Ryan in this. Now that it doesn't really confuse me, now that I've seen it in the casino, the person who's there spending the money isn't the money person who's washing the money usually.
Totally.
I mean, that's what they do. Now, Jen, while we're on that subject,
Oh,
Jen had,
Jen has a new face too.
yeah, like it's nipped, it's tucked, it's tight, whatever she did, it looks good.
It looks
And
great.
remember last year, Shannon paid John Jansen,
Yeah,
for the facelift,
she
and
did. Oh my God, I had no idea.
it's fallen a little bit.
Yeah, I
You
heard
know, yeah, it's
the
fallen a
makeup
little
around
bit.
her lips,
Yeah,
it
it's
was bad.
fallen. And I want to tell you, I know people, this is just an FYI to you listeners out there. I know people who've had facelifts. They've had mini and fulls. The ones that look like after they have it done look great like a year later because it softens a little bit. And
Camera.
5 years later, they still look good. The ones who just do like a little in a year, you never know they had it done. So an FYI at
If you're
PSA,
gonna
if you're
get it
gonna
one,
get a
go
lift,
big or go home,
get
baby.
it. So you look funny for a year because then you'll look good for 5. I'm just telling you. Um, uh, um, Heather Dubrow is so contrived. She only cares how she looks on this show.
Yep, yeah,
And I
absolutely.
want to tell you, her brown dress looks phenomenal on her. She she looks like a pretzel. She's so
She
done.
is. Heather, that's the thing about Heather. I think that it's hard. Heather has the
And
vibe of
they
a housewife,
all
the
have
money of a
bowel
housewife.
problems,
Oh
so they're
yeah.
all on you know what.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I
Even
will say,
Heather, even the thin ones are.
totally, totally.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Gina,
yeah.
you know what, Gina girl, you just keep showing us the best sides of you. You are so good. You
She
are
is
so put
so
together.
good,
You're
Gina.
real. You're relatable. I think that like, some women or some women on that we've seen on the show when Andy goes, "How's business?" They'd just be like, "Oh, it's amazing. It's booming." And Gina was just very real. She
Well, I
goes, "We just sold the
closed.
house.
I
We
got
just
another
sold
one.
the house. I'm closing on another one on Monday. Things are
Yeah.
good." Like she's being honest and real. And I like how she talked about with Shannon and forgiving Shannon. These other women think like that it's a bad thing that Gina's forgiven Shannon. And I totally resonate with Gina here that like it's not worth it for her to hold on to it. Like it's better for her to say like she knows that she was right and Shannon knows that Gina was right because look
Yes.
what Shannon's dealing with. So it's
Yeah.
like Gina does not have to put salt over the wounds. The wounds are
Correct.
fine for Shannon to deal
Yeah.
with herself and Gina knows that because she's been in that position. So it's like Tamara, Emily, not Emily because she likes Gina, but like Tamara, Heather, it's like don't be mad at Gina just because when a wound is in front of her, she doesn't take out a little salt packet and dribble
Yeah.
some salt on it.
Right.
She lets the
Yeah.
wound alone. She leaves it alone.
Yes. And you know what else? I realized watching this episode that Gina and Emily bring something that I don't know if anybody else brings to any other franchise.
Yeah.
And that is they're like a voice of reason. And I wouldn't say that either one has big, spectacular storylines, though I
No.
would say this year that Gina's was a bigger storyline with Matt moving out and
Yeah.
the wife than Emily. But they're like the
What about Emily's outfits and the weight and all that? That was pretty real.
yeah, but yeah. But I'm saying
That her
there.
in-laws fund her whole life.
Oh, that was amazing. That's what I got out of the episode, is that her in-laws
She
pay
also
for
didn't
everything.
deny it.
She didn't. She just looked like, oh, got me.
Because what are you
Mm.
supposed to say? No, they don't. And then mother-in-law is calling you after when it airs and goes, "What do you mean we don't fund your life? What are you talking about?"
And we know it's not Shane. And I do think that, was it Katie who, no, it was Jen who brought up, I don't ask you how many cases does Shane have right now? Yeah, because we know he doesn't really,
Yep.
but that was surprising. But getting back to Gina and Emily, there is sort of a they're kind of like the narrator in a story.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and they're more like they're kind of like weaving of which way it goes. They're both good at it.
they are. And
They
they can
they can
play both
direct it.
sides in a genuine way. And I like how Gina and Emily can disagree and not go to like war over it. Like they're on different
Yes, yeah,
sides.
they right, but
They're friends
but
still,
they're
but like
friends.
Gina's alliance
Right.
is with Shannon right now, and Emily's is with Tamara and Heather. And like, I also think that Emily, like Emily and Gina have found a way to be friends with all of them. It's very odd,
Yes, very unusual, really. Now,
unusual.
tell me, when you have a issue with someone,
Mm.
is it unrealistic that just because you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're sorry, okay, whatever," that you go back to that relationship?
How much time do
Isn't
we have to talk about this? Because I could go on about hours.
I know, but don't you think you can get past somebody with something with somebody and still say, I still don't want you in my life?
100%.
Yeah. And I think that is what
It's
a
not
lot of
normal on
people
this
miss.
show.
No, but I think people can just move past and agree to disagree, but don't, like, I'm just speaking from my own life. I don't want you in my life. I don't wish you ill.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've set my boundary, and I'm keeping my wall up, and it's
Also,
not coming
if
down.
you set the boundary, it's your boundary to break down. No one can force you to break it down. So
Right.
that's my thing is like, Tamara, you've said your piece. You've made it known that you regret the way that you treated Shannon. Her
Right.
boundary, she doesn't want it to move right now, but so let it be. If she decides to move it in the future and let you in,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
her choice. And
Yes.
then it's something where like it's a respectful, and again, that's how I feel. If you set the boundary, it's your boundary to remove. That's how I feel.
Yes. And just because somebody apologizes doesn't mean that they should be necessarily still welcome back into your life.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I get
Sometimes
Shannon.
people give apologies just to try to make peace. Other times they give apologies to like actually apologize, and there's a
Right.
difference.
Well, Tamara is only trying to keep her orange.
That's
I
what,
don't care
yeah,
what anybody says. That is her. She's desperate to keep her orange because she is a fame whore, for lack of a
totally.
better
Did
term.
you understand this Katie stalking the guy and then get him in jail?
No,
It made no sense to me.
but
They all hate Katie. They all think she's a lying storyteller, a fable woman.
I always find it odd, to be honest with you, when a woman um, is down on their luck and has nowhere to live, and then they end up with a rich guy.
Ask Bryn.
You know,
I don't
I
know.
just always think, like, what are the chances really that you've got 3 kids and you're have nothing. You don't even have a place to live, that you had to give up your kids, that you end
Money
up
don't buy a class.
I just always find it fascinating. Now, there is a little Cinderella to it, but I'm going to say, I'm going out on a limb, maybe I shouldn't, that if you find yourself divorced with 3 children and no support, and you've lost your kids, and you end up with a wealthy man, you might have manipulated situations to get
Thank
yourself
you.
there.
Thank you.
So
It's
I
not
see it
far-fetched.
more. I see it more that her stories are a little bit convoluted,
Yep.
but I think she's manipulative, because I think it's rare for a woman with 3 children to end up with the guy with money.
Well, one of them she had with the guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, okay, so
Yeah.
she had two. She had two
And
before.
one of them
Okay.
doesn't live with her. So it's
Yeah.
just the girl.
Yeah. I just that I
And they're
don't
more
want to
like
pass
friends.
judgment.
The
I don't
girl's a
want to.
pathological liar too.
Yes. So,
Monkey see, monkey
sometimes
do.
sometimes you see the same sort of pattern of behavior in the mother that you see in the child. What's the other show that we watch that it's just like little mini me's? I don't know. I can see another show where the daughter is just as bad as the mom. It will come to me. We watch a lot of TV.
However, I will say in your personal life, I would say that's not true. Your
No, it's
daughter's
not true.
not like you at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at
There's
all.
similarities, but not really.
No, none at all. There really aren't. No, she's like
And not in bad ways on either side, just different.
well, listen, there is
There's
my
differences.
daughter is nothing like me. She could be Kate Middleton. No,
Totally, 100%.
yeah, and I'm more like Camilla. I'm more like Camilla, okay? And she's more like Kate Middleton.
I love that.
Yeah, I would say that. Oh, mess so far?
Yeah.
No.
Reunions are hard. This is,
I would say right now it's not going well for Katie, even though I do feel bad that she lost her kids. But
I have to
but
say
that was
Tamara's the mess just for that awkward moment of thinking that Emily was talking to Shannon and she was really talking to Tamara.
Oh yeah, that was messy. That was messy, but I don't blame Shannon Bedore for not.
I give Shannon a lot of credit. If I would actually give Shannon the trophy, she empathized with Tamara saying she was sorry. She said, thank you for your apology. And she said, I just don't want to be friends with you. And I
Yeah.
just think it's something that a lot of people need to learn because it's a really great quality to be able
Yes.
to say, I forgive you.
Yeah.
I want nothing, no harm for you. I
Right.
want you to prosper. I want you to eat. As some people say too, like I want you to eat, just not at my table.
Yes. Well, and to get back to this, I just lost. Help me get my train of thought back.
I
It had to
can't.
do.
We're on a computer
I
talking to a
know. Wait
microphone.
a second. Let me get back. I had a lot of late nights this week. Tamara. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's
I'm
okay.
old and sometimes I forget. If I don't interrupt Andrew at that moment and say what I wanted to say, it's gone forever into the recesses of my brain. But it did have to do with Tamara.
Well, I love that. Well, I love that. It's a great place to end. Well, follow us,
If I
subscribe us.
remember, I'm going to leave a comment.
Okay, good. You leave that comment, but
Because
follow
I
us,
will. Or watch
subscribe
our Hot
us,
Topics.
like us. We love you, and we'll see you soon because
We'll see you for part 2.
part 2, and then part 3. Bye, guys.